Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss the study of permanent slides, and in that we'll discuss the Entamoeba, Giardia, Spongimules, Spicules, then vertical section and the transverse section of Cycon, Obelia Medusa, Miracidium, Radia, Cercaria larva of Fasciola, tears of male and female ascaris, Scolex of Tinea, mature and gravid proglottids of Tinea, tears of leech through crop rockets, and trochophore larva. During writing, you have to write down the two slides on one page, or you can write single slide on one page also. Then the first slide is the word the Entamoeba histolytica. The classification of this Entamoeba, that is, it belongs to the phylum Protozoa, class is the Rhizopoda, order is Lobosa, the genus is Entamoeba, and the species is the histolytica. This is a protozoan, and this is a parasite of the large intestine of man, and it occurs in three stages. One is a tropozoid stage, second is a pre-cystic stage, and the third one is a cystic. The disease is caused by the tropozoid form. As in the this is the as in the amoeba, it have that the organ of locomotion is pseudopodium. In this animal also, or in entamoeba, the organ of locomotion is the pseudopodia. Then the it having the this is a tropozoid form, and if you observe the tropozoid form, it is a growing stage, rounded in shape. Cytoplasm is differentiated into two parts. One outer one is called as ectoplasm, and inner one that is called as a endoplasm. The nutrition is the holozoic, and that is a animal like, and reproduction by binary fission and incestment. Centrally placed there is a nucleus, and the what that is a inside that there is a nucleolus. It feeds on the what that is a blood, and therefore you can observe the ingested RBCs, and these are the vacuoles or the glycogen vacuoles. This diagram, you have to draw only this single diagram tropozoids. You are not supposed to draw this cyst and this diagram. The pre-cystic stage is a smaller in size with a blunt pseudopodia. The nucleus is like tropozoid stage, but endoplasm is free of ingested particles. The cystic stage or the cyst, it has a three stages: uninucleate, that is a single nucleus, then binucleate cyst, and the quadrinucleate cyst. This is a cyst which is a uninucleate having the single that is a single nucleus. Then this is having the four nucleus. This is a what quadrinucleate cyst. The mature cyst is rounded and surrounded by highly refractile membrane called as a cyst wall. The Entamoeba histolytica, as it lives in it lives in intestine, and it causes a disease that is called as a amoebiosis. That it causes a disease amoebiosis in man, and tropozoites live in mucus layer of large intestine, and it causes a disease that is called as amoebiosis, or it is also called as a amoebic dysentery. So these are the characteristic features of the what that is a this Entamoeba histolytic. This is the diagram that you have to draw uh, in your practical record. Then the second organism from the protozoa, or the second slide from the protozoa, that is the Giardia lamina. This it is included under the protozoa. Class is the Mastigophora. Order is a Polymastygenia, and the genus is a Giardia. If you observe the structure of these Giardia, it having the this flagella as a locomotory organ. Therefore, that is included in the mastigophora or the flagellata. The body, how it is a pear-shaped structure, and it is a bilaterally symmetrical with the anterior end rounded and the posterior end is a tapering. The dorsal surface is a convex and ventral surface is flat provided with concave sucker. Then the exostyle. This is a exostyle that is placed in the central or the median longitudinal axis of the body. This exostyle it forms a median longitudinal axis of the body and the four pairs of the flagella. This one, two, three, and four. This is the anterior flagella. Then this is the posterior flagella, and these are the ventral flagella. The four pairs of the flagella arise from the what? The basal bodies or from the basal granules. The cytoplasm contains the two nuclei. This is one and another, these two. The cytoplasm contains the two nuclei. Reproduction takes place by longitudinal binary fission. Means vertically it separates or the it it gets shows the binary fission and cyst formation. The parasite causes changes in the intestinal epithelium resulting in the malabsorption of fats and fat soluble vitamins. Means this is a parasite and it causes a disease that is a loose motions with irritative effects and the chronic enteritis, that is the inflammation of the enteron or the gut or the digestive system. Means it causes a loose motion, irritative effects, and what the inflammation of the what, that is a gut or the digestive system. It lives in the intestinal epithelium. So this is the second slide, that is a Giardia Lamina. This is the this diagram you have to draw in your practical record. This is a colorful diagram which is only for your understanding. Same. Then the third slide is of the sponge gemmule. As these were the as the Giardia and the Entamoeba, these were the protozoan parasites animals. We have written the classification. As this is a gemmule structure, this structure is of the what? The porifera, and it is not an animal. These are formed in the unfavorable condition. Therefore, you doesn't need to write the classification of this gemmule. These gemmules are asexual bodies. Means by with the help of this gemmule, sponges reproduces, and this method of reproduction is a asexual method of reproduction. Gemmules are asexual reproductive bodies of freshwater and few marine sponges. These are formed in hot and cold weather to resist with an unfavorable condition like drought and cold. When in summer days the pond gets dried, the animal will die, and before dying, what will happen? These will form the thousands of the gemmule that will be in the pond, and at the onset of the favorable condition, the cells, these archaeocytes, it will form a new organisms. Each gemmule is small. It is a ball-like structure and consisting of the outer capsule and inner internal mass of the cells, that is called as the archaeocytes. Means inside these archaeocytes are there, and outer one it is occupied by the what, this is ball-like structure. Then capsule is made of two layers, and inner and the outer chitinous layers. Outer chitinous layer of capsule contain the spicules. These spicules are amphibious. Toward both the sides it having the disk shape, and therefore these are called as amphibious. An outlet or opening is there in the gemmule, and that is called as a micropylar end or the micropyle. It is present at one end of the gemmule. Internal mass of archaeocyte is filled with food material formed by the trophocyte cells. And under favorable condition, the mass of these archaeocyte cells pass out from the micropyle and develops into a young sponge or the young animal. So this is the sponge. It is a structure which is formed during the unfavorable condition, that is either in hot condition or cold condition. It having the one opening that is called as a micropyle. Inside it, it having the cells. These are called as archocytes. Outer structure, it is made up of the capsule, that is the inner and the outer one, and it is made up of the what, that is a amphidisk structure, and they will germinate into during the favorable condition. These archocytes, by breaking the micropyle, these archocytes come outside this gemmule and it will reproduce into the new organism. This is the diagram. You have to draw this one, only 1.13 gemmule diagram. One this, only one this diagram for this gemmule. You are not supposed to draw this diagram. You have to draw this diagram only. Then the next slide is a sponge spicules. These sponge spicules, these are the structures which are forming the body of the animal or the body of the sponges. And these spicules are either made up of calcium carbonate or silica. We have discussed in the classification, that is the calcareous and the siliceous. If it is made up of the silica, then it is called as a siliceous. If it is made up of calcium carbonate, then it is called as a these are made up of the what, calcium, that is a calcareous. Then the sponge spicule. What is the function of these spicules? They form the entire body of the sponges, and these are interwoven with the fibers that are called as the spongin fibers. The spicules are formed by the cells. These are called as a scleroblast cell in the mesenchyme. And it is a mesenchyme is a structure or the layer which is in between the what, ectoderm and endoderm. And it is an organic material around which the deposited calcium carbonate or silica. The spicules are of various shape. This is a monoxon. If it having the triangle-like structure, that is a three ends, that is called as a trioxon. It having the tetra means four. Then the what it is, these are called as a tetraxon. If it having the what, that is a six structures like this, then it is called as a hexaxon. Then these these are the, if the structures, both the structures are umbrella like and these are toward the both end, then it is called as a amphidisk. If it having the many structure, then it is called as a polyxons. Like this is also the polyxons. So these are the structures. This is an anchor shape structure. These are the variously structure form various shape of the these spicules which form the body of the what, the body of the sponges. The spicules support and protect the body, and they are useful in the classification of the sponges. So these are the different types of the spicules. You have to draw all these diagrams from 1 to 7, that is monoxon, trioxon, hexaxon, tetraxon, then polyxons and the amphidisk. You are supposed to draw the all these diagrams in your practical record and write down the characteristics of the spone spicules. So these are the spone spicule. These all spicules in this slide, you can observe all these are the monoxon type of the spicules. So this is the monoxon type of the spicules. Then the next slide is the Obelia medusa. We have already discussed the Obelia polyp. Then now this is a Obelia medusa. This Obelia medusa, it is a circular in shape, and these having the tentacles all over the body. The medusa of the Obelia, it is an umbrella-like shape. The rim of umbrella is fringed with the tentacles, and these tentacles bearing the nematoblasts. Outer convex surface is called as the X umbrella, while the inner concave surface is called as a subumbrella. Then the manubrium. This is a manubrium or the mouth. It is present on the subumbellar surface and it having the tetraradiated mouth, that is a that is a having the four corners, and it having the word, these are the radial canals, these four radial canals, it having the and therefore tetraradial symmetry, and at each radial canal it having the gonads. Means the number of gonads, these are the four gonads. This Obelia medusa, it may be either male or it may be the female. Okay. So these gastric cavity branches, this is a gastric cavity and these branches into the, this is a what mouth and this is the gastric cavity. It branches into the how many radial canals? The four radial canals, and these joins at their distal ends into a circular canal. This is a circular canal. Each medusa bears a how many gonads? Each bears a four gonads situated on the subumbellar surface, one in the middle of each radial canal. Means within the in the median of the each radial canal there is a one gonad, and therefore as number of the radial canals are four, the number of gonads are also formed. They will either produce, they will be either the testes or ovary. In male they will be the testes, in female they will be the ovaries, and therefore the male, the same, the Obelia medusa, these are of two types, male medusa and the female medusa. So you have to draw this diagram, that is 13.4, 32.4, that is written here, this diagram into your practical record. This single diagram you have to draw in practical record and write down the characteristic features. Thank you.